Hi everyone. Good morning. Thank you everyone for joining us. We will be waiting for a few minutes for everybody to join in
Good morning,
and,
ma'am.
and then we shall start. Meanwhile, I want everybody to post in qualification in the chat window. Kindly post in your full names and qualification in the chat window. Good morning everyone. Whoever has joined in now, I would request all of y'all to please send in your names and your qualifications in the chat window.
Okay, fine. Is it okay, ma'am, now? Okay, fine. I will start again then, okay? Good morning, all, one and all present over here. On behalf of Gnan Vikas Mandal's Degree College and IT Vedant Education, I, Dr. Sanjeevani Nalkar, convener of this webinar and a member of our placement cell, welcomes you all to this webinar. Let's begin the session with an introduction to our college. JVM College started humbly in 2001 with only 12 students. Today, we have grown to A-grade institution with over 3,000 students. We offer 11 undergraduate and postgraduate courses. Our college is also a recognized PhD center for chemistry. Recently, our college got approval from YCMOU for BCA and MCA courses. We owe this success to our management's vision, strong support, and relentless encouragement. Now I will introduce our today's speaker, Ms. Neha Lohana. She has completed her MCA and she is having 10 plus years of experience in the IT industry. From past 8 years, she has trained and helped 5,000 plus students to build their career. During her complete work life, she has learned the art of understanding the business problem and getting quick and effective solution. She has also developed the skill of A to D, that is an eye to detail, and got proficient in building and maintaining a professional relationship, which has over the years helped her to gain more perfection towards a solution-based working and people management. She has delivered in-house and corporate training on machine learning, C Sharp, ASP.NET MVC, Python, and SQL for clients like Veena World, HR Mantra, CMC, FGI, Motilal Oswal, etc. Welcome, ma'am. I request you to guide our student further. Thank you. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
So,
Good morning, ma'am.
So before we start the session, I would like to give few instructions to everyone. Okay, everybody is going through this session online. So there would be some network fluctuations at everybody's end. Okay, this is a time where we are dealing with this through the internet, right? So there would be or might be some network fluctuation, and there may be some disturbances at everybody's houses. So that's the reason I request everybody to keep your cameras off as well as keep your microphones mute. If you have any doubts during these sessions, you can put all your questions in the chat window. The last session of my seminar would be for answering all the questions. Okay, so there might be a delay in answering your question, but I wouldn't skip anybody's question. Okay, so I request everybody to just put in all your questions in the chat window instead of unmuting and talking in between. That's a request to everybody. Now I'll present my screen, and I will also be switching off my camera so that we do not have any bandwidth issues. I request everyone in the meeting to kindly switch off their cameras as well as mute themselves. If my screen is visible to everyone, please give me a yes in the chat window. Okay. So welcome all to the world of data science. I am Neha Lohana. Ma'am has already given my introduction, so we'll start off with the session directly. So when I say automate your world with data science, why do I say this? Because it is going to help us see things differently. And let me tell you this, we already are using all these automated things in our real life. So I'm going to start off with an example that we have around the world, which is there around us. Okay. So anybody knows this? Any one of you all know about this? What is it?
Audi.
Audi. Okay, that's from the logo. We come to know it is Audi. But which Audi is it?
Who's here to use the car?
Self-driven car. Okay, so this is a car which does not need a driver. It is, you are just supposed to enter where you want to go. You just have to enter the destination, and automatically the car starts driving itself. So Audi Econ, that is basically AI, okay, that is related to artificial intelligence. Okay, so this is a icon to introduction to the world of artificial intelligence. So you just have to sit, relax, and reach the destination. Now, what is the beauty that has been given to us in Audi? Okay, so we have our traffic signals, right? So traffic signals have red, yellow, and green lights, right? Which tells us stop, get ready, and start moving, right? So Audi icon also gives the same signals to your pedestrians who are crossing the road, so that the pedestrians are also very clear whether they can cross the road or no. Okay, the object detection mechanisms have been placed using the cameras that are in the vehicles, so that they can easily come to know that what is happening with the vehicle. So this is the beauty that has been given. Okay, now you would say this is around us, but this is far beyond our reach, correct? So how can we handle this? Okay, so how can we handle this? So the solution, or we can say that, this thing that is there around us can happen more better if we look at something this social media. Okay, so when we talk about social media allows us to do two things. Facebook, this is something which everybody uses, right? I am sure everybody would be having a Facebook account. So when you upload a photo, automatically the face gets detected, and you can actually tag a person, correct? Why are you able to tag a person? That's because of the face recognition system that is again possible with the help of data science. Whenever you log on to Facebook, if your friend is connected to somebody else, you start getting this friend request, or basically a suggestion. This is nothing but a recommender system that is again part of your data science that we use on day to day life. So we are surrounded completely with data science. This is something that I use regularly whenever, I mean, off lately with the pandemic, if I'm supposed to travel to office, I have to check how much time I would need to reach to a location. So without, in Mumbai, without the trains on, our life is hampered, right? So we have to take support of predict your travel. I use Ola, sometimes Uber. Sometimes when I'm driving myself, I would prefer to go by the maps so that I can reach to the destination. It gives us alternative routes, right? All this is possible because of data science. Okay, now we'll come to this question. What is data science? What, according to you, is data science? You guys put it in the chat window. What, according to you, is data science? Okay, we have few answers like analyzing data. Very good. Digital marketing. That's not exactly data science, but yes, it helps towards data science. Algorithms, correct. Guidance. Okay, we need to actually help the machine guide us. Yes, data analysis, that's correct. Analyzing huge amount of data and collecting some information, correct. Statistics, artificial intelligence, right. Okay, so let me help you with the answer to what is data science. When we talk about what is data science is a interdisciplinary field. Now, when I say interdisciplinary field, what do I mean by this? Okay, now, if I look at data science, it is a combination of multiple technologies, multiple knowledge bases. Okay, it's not related to one particular approach. Okay, it is not only IT, it is not only mathematics. It is a combination of everything. Now, you will tell me, why do I say this? Okay, so let me explain you. If in data science, how many roles that were happening, or there how many profiles are involved inside this. Okay, that was done before IT came into picture. Okay, so data science is not new in the market. It is way back from 80s. Data science is part of the system. Okay, the only thing is now, with time everything becomes automated. That's why IT people are focusing on data science. Okay, so when I say it is having multiple roles involved, let's have a look. Okay, so when we talk about analysis, okay, we need MBAs, or currently many companies hire MBAs to focus on predicting the values. They also hire many a time CAs who actually help us look into the financial aspects of the business, right? So what are they doing? They're analyzing the information, right? Then we need core management guys, okay, who will help me structure information. Okay, then I would need mathematicians and statisticians who would look into the algorithms. Now all this information that is there in a Excel sheet, okay, that needs to be processed more faster. So I need a process driven IT program. So that's where a process driver and a programmer comes into picture. Then we will have, like, again, the management people who look at the problems and give us ideas how to look at it. And ultimately I need a domain expert, meaning if I am dealing with a banking problem, I need a person from banking and finance to guide me through. Correct. If I am dealing with the HR problem, then I need a HR person to deal with that. So this is where my knowledge of a domain comes into picture. Now, data science is basically clubbing all of this together so that we can teach the machine to read the patterns and help us with the solution. So this is like we are actually clubbing in multiple roles into one single page and creating the new thing that is IT based data science. Okay. So as I said, the domains that or technologies that we are looking into. Okay, so Drew Conway said, for data science, there are three major important skills that a person should know to acquire a complete knowledge of data science. Okay, so Drew Conway, this is the person, father of this particular Venn diagram. Okay, so he said that a person who wants to or wishes to get into the data science knowledge, he or she should have knowledge of programming language, that is nothing but computer science. And of lately, the most efficiently or most used programming language is Python inside this domain. Okay, then the person should have knowledge of maths and statistics. Okay, so the knowledge of maths and statistics is like having knowledge. It is not that you should know too much of mathematics. The idea is you should know what you have done in your 11th and 12th. Okay, so from 8th to 12th, whatever we have studied is the major points that we need in maths and statistics. Okay, so that we all already have. Another is domain expertise. Now, domain expertise is something that person learns with time and experience. It is not going to happen overnight. Okay, so whether I am dealing with a HR business, so I need to know what exactly the business is, how the business works around, right? So all this comes with time and experience. So these are the three important fields that we should know to enter the data science field completely. Okay, now what all comes under computer science skills? As I said, programming language, Python is the best that it goes. Apart from Python, we can code in data science using C sharp, R programming, Java. These are also the technologies in which you can code with regards to data science. Okay, then you need big data. Why do I need big data? I am processing information, right? I am analyzing something. And what am I going to analyze? Data. Okay, so that's the reason we need big data. Apart from this, when I say mathematics and statistics, the basic knowledge of mathematics that I said till 12th standard, 8 to 12, that is mandatory. Apart from that, we need to know certain algorithms. Those are part of machine learnings. So machine learning will allow me to create a model that will allow me to make some predictions for my business. Okay, and when we talk about domain expertise, we are talking about the business knowledge and the testing. Whatever model we develop, we need to confirm whether it is perfect to work around or no, right? So that's the reason we need domain expertise. Moving towards the fields of data science. So there are three major fields. So data science alone has multiple fields. So the three major fields that are looked into when it comes to data science is first artificial intelligence. Okay, so when I say artificial intelligence, is it is the holistic picture. Inside artificial intelligence, I have machine learning and deep learning. So these all three fields are mandatory while working with data science. So what exactly are these fields? Okay, so when we talk about artificial intelligence is basically mimicking a human brain. Okay, so we are mimicking a human being. So a machine is taught how to behave like a human being. So that is nothing but artificial intelligence. But how was it possible? How is a machine able to mimic like a human being? There has to be some source, right? So that's where machine learning comes into picture. So machine learning is something where I am actually teaching the machine how to learn and behave. Okay, now when I say this, so what do I can give you a very simple example. So when we were children, okay, we were taught to identify objects, correct? So if a round thing was given to us, okay, we would identify. You were explained that because orange is round in a shape, right, but it can be eaten, that's why it is a orange, and the color is orange in color. So you could identify what is a ball and what is a orange, right? So exactly same thing is being done in machine learning. And how is it possible? By data. We explain with examples to the machine. This is what is expected. Okay, so that's nothing but machine learning. But machine learning operates like one work at one time, correct? So that's not possible if I have to be mimic a human being. So if I am talking to you, my brain is giving instructions to my vocals. I am actually seeing and then talking. So parallelly, there are multiple things that are running. If you are listening, so you are listening you are also consuming what I am explaining you. So your brain is processing multiple things at a time, and we need to actually allow that to happen. And that was possible because of deep learning. Okay, so if I had deep learning, I am basically allowing one step that was happening in machine learning to be replicated into multiple layers. And those multiple layers are nothing but neural networks. These multiple layers are nothing but neural network. So these are the three major fields in data science. Okay, so before I proceed ahead, if you have any questions, please post it in the chat window. Guys, any questions? Jayesh has a question. He says, data science needs all the three fields. Data science gets completed when all the three fields are put together. All right, so as there are no questions, I will continue with my session. Now, as I said, programming language is required, and we use Python in the programming language. Now, what is the reason behind using Python? Why do we need Python? Okay, and what is the purpose? First of all, it is a high-level interpreted language. Okay, you don't need a separate compiler to work with it. You don't have to worry about other aspects like any other programming language. It's pretty simple. It's like an English language that you study. Okay, so it is very simple to grasp information and learn the language, and very important, you don't have to pay money to use the software because it is a open source. Okay, so it has a very good GUI programming. That is, if I want to create a front end or I want to create a website, that things are easily possible with Python. So that is an added advantage what we have. The best part of Python is Python back then in 80s was famous for its it being a platform independent, and second, it handling the network. So because it could handle the network very well, it can handle huge amount of data easily, and that is possible because of a huge standard library. Back to or you can say it is giving a good competition to other programming languages because it is object oriented. And let me tell you this, guys, object oriented programming concepts are much stronger than any other programming language. I wouldn't say that other programming languages are not good. I wouldn't say that. I would say it has many strong features in comparison to other programming languages. So that is something that is an added advantage we have. Second, apart from that, it is platform independent. So it is not necessary that I need only Windows to work with Python, or I only need Linux operating system to work with Python. No, I can work with it in any programming language. I mean, in this era of online, I use my mobile phone. That's an Android application, Android OS, to teach Python. So that's something which is like easily possible. So there's no restriction to which operating system we need to use Python. we data science has a methodology. Okay, so Python is one of it. Apart from that, we'll see what exactly is done in data science, and why, where, and at what location we'll use which kind of technology. So we'll understand that. So data science is about processing data, correct? Now when we are processing data, we need to understand first the business. Okay, so when we understand the business, we are going to collect the data based on the understanding. Now over here we'll need big data in picture. Okay, now why do we need big data? Okay, so big data is going to allow me to process huge amount of data. So we will need data to work on and predict information, right? So that is where we'll use big data, your databases, MongoDB, all this will be utilized at this stage. Okay, then we shall move towards data preparation. When we talk about data preparation, we are basically analyzing the information, and this is where my Python is going to play a very important role. Okay, under that, I will use libraries like pandas, numpy, then we have other libraries like matplotlib, cbon. These are all the libraries or tools that I will use to work with the data preparation. And what exactly do we do in the data preparation? We are basically looking at the information, and we are also trying to clean the data. So many a times the data that we pick up is sometimes from Twitter, sometimes from Facebook, sometimes from some other locations. So now Twitter has tweets, Facebook has posts. So how are we going to collate this data? So we need to prepare the data, and we need to clean the data so that my computer can understand it. Okay, and that's where the modeling comes into picture. So after the data is cleaned and good to allow my machine to work, the modeling happens with multiple technologies. So we use machine learning, deep learning, NLP, recommender systems. So all different tasks, what we do has a different kind of module that is required to work with modeling. So basically all the different algorithms can be implemented using modeling, and different tools like scikit-learn, TensorFlow, all these are required, keras, all these are required to process and work on the modeling. Once the modeling is done, I do the evaluation. This is where my domain experts come into the picture, and the testing happens. So when I say that testing is happening, it's basically verifying whether the model is giving me the correct output. Okay, so if I have to predict a simple example, like if I want to predict whether a YouTuber would like the recommended video or not, correct? This is something that I want to evaluate. This is nothing but the testing phase that we are working. Now, suppose my model is giving a wrong answer. So then what do? I will go back to understanding the business, again preparing the data, prepare the data, understand the data, prepare the data, again model, and then do the evaluation again. So this is like a cycle. You keep continuously doing this till you get the satisfied output. Once you get the satisfied output, we perform the deployment. Okay, so the deployment is basically the situation that we are dealing with a web developer. Okay, this person is going to utilize your model and develop a website, or utilize a API to actually deploy the code that has been generated through the data science level. So this is like a complete life cycle of your data science. Now I've given you a brief of what technologies are used in each. So let's look at how things can be used and which tool is used where. Okay, so when I have small data, hardly say 1 lakh or 1.5 lakh of records, in such a scenario I can use numpy and pandas to process it, and I can deal with the data in form of a text file and a CSV. Suppose my data is in size of GBs, okay? I'm talking about like 500 GB, 600 GB data. This is called as a mid-size data, okay? To process these mid-size datas, we can look into any RDBMS concept that we use. So any database like MySQL, MS SQL Server, PostgreSQL, Oracle, anything can be utilized. Or if you want to go with NoSQL, then we can use MongoDB, right? So these are the different softwares that can be utilized to deal with data. Now, suppose we are dealing with much huger than this. We are talking about PBs of data, okay, and ZBs of data. So when we talk about that, then we need big data, okay? We need big data to process this information. Now you will say, why big data? Okay, now big data has a very big example in India itself. Okay, so anybody remembers 2014 elections? Give me a yes or a no in the chat window. Okay, in 2014 in the elections, BJP won the election, but how did BJP win the election? This is very important question. How? Anybody has a background idea, or y'all have gone through some information on the internet? Okay. Social media posts like Facebook, okay. WhatsApp messages, okay. Anything more? Anybody can recollect? Advertising, everybody does advertising, okay. Anything else? Okay, we had the tagline given to us, Ab ki baar Modi Sarkar, right? Okay, news channels, right? There was one very important thing that BJP or today's government uses, okay, that is very, very important that they are doing. That is, they utilized big data and data science to actually make this happen. If you remember, in 2014, they came up with a 365-day plan. One day, one task. If you have, if you had seen this, this is, I mean, as much I have lived in India, okay, I mean, from the time I have born, I've never seen somebody presenting such kind of pointers, 365 days, 365 tasks to be completed. Now, the question was, how did these tasks come into the picture? Okay, so what was used was the big data, okay? Big data analytics was used over here. What did they basically do? They actually served out all the social media. We have a habit, whenever we face some problem, what do? We simply post it onto the social media, right? Now, the government took a challenge. They started tapping all these public posts that you are putting onto these social media networks. And they prioritized the problems based on the number of replications of the same problem onto the social media. And that's how they came up with the 365-day plan, that what task will be completed in on every day of the first year. So this was a fantastic utilization of data science. And how did they get this information? With the help of big data. So, I mean, I was really amazed being an IT person, looking how much IT is used in India. It's just fantastic. We always talk about all the examples that happen outside the world, not in India. So this is like a best example that we have, which is being done through, in India. We'll move to the next tool, data visualization. So how do you present the data that you have analyzed? So we need data visualization. The tools used are like Seaborn, your matplotlib. So these are utilized. Apart from this, we also use Tableau. So again, Tableau is being used off lately very closely in your matches. They give you all the details, and that is possible with the help of Tableau. Again, the analysis is done and you are presenting the data through Tableau and data visualization. Machine learning. What exactly is done through machine learning? So machine learning allows me to actually look at information and predict something. So let's say today machine learning is used on a it's used on a great scale in India as well as across the globe when it comes to dealing with sales, okay, price prediction. What should be, if suppose Toyota is launching a new car, so it has to decide what should be the price of the car, right? So how do they do that? They utilize machine learning to perform that task. There is one company where called Ira Matrix. Okay, what do they do? What is their job? Okay, they are into this medical field. This company is in Wagle Estate, Thane. They are into the fracture detection from the X-ray. Okay, so they upload X-rays photos and they detect whether the person has a fracture or not, and what kind of fracture is there. Again, how is this possible? This is possible with the help of machine learning. Okay, so machine learning is going to help me with that. Now, it cannot happen directly with machine learning. It needs deep learning too. So what exactly deep learning is doing? So reading an image is like a complex information. So that cannot be done alone by machine learning. So what we do over here is we give the inputs. All the image pixels are multiple layers of inputs. Now what happens is these inputs are processed in combination of multiple layers. That is the hidden layers, okay? And they are actually processing the information and then they give you the output. So basically, instead of one brain or one process working, we create multiple processes to speeden up our task. That is how your neural network gets created. And that is nothing but deep learning. Moving ahead, we have NLP. Okay, NLP, again, we use day in and day out, right? Whatever we want, we just talk to Google Assistant or Alexa or Siri. We say, hey Google, tell me this. Hey Google, please put my alarm or remind me about this. So this is like we completely utilize this. And how is it happening? It is happening because of natural language processing. Now, I am going to show you one video that one of our team members have developed, okay? And this is a NLP based project which is being developed. Just observe the video.
Wait. Come back slowly. Move forward slowly. Come back quick. Brake. Turn left. Turn right. Come back to me slowly. Brake.
So this is one of the applications developed with the help of NLP. Now let's talk about computer vision. So off lately, if you have been on the social media network, specifically LinkedIn, we have the latest software or latest applications that are developed, okay? And that is whether the person is wearing a mask or no because of the pandemic. So this is possible with the help of computer vision. So computer vision allows you to detect objects and tell you what exactly it is. So this image is basically showing you the example of detecting a handbag, person, bus, truck, car, the traffic lights. Okay, so all this object detection is happening. So computer vision is going to help you with that. Now, I'll tell you, computer vision is also used in airports. So basically, what happens is when you go, you are traveling by flight, you have to scan your bags, right? Even if you scan your bags and you do not do a check-in, bag check-in, and you are walking into the security line, there you have security guards actually checking your bags and manually checking things. But what about the luggage that is checked in? Okay, so the checked in luggage is like a huge bag, and security guards can't do all the checking through verifying the x-rays, because there is a huge amount of luggage. So off lately they are using computer vision to detect all these products that are not allowed or banned in the in your air flights. So it is going to be helping, this computer vision is helping us to do that. So the if I don't know whether you all have observed this or no, but if your luggage has a doubtful material in it, you will see a cross on it. They mark a cross on your bag with the chalk, or they put a mark, and when you try to pick it up, the guard is going to tell you, please open your bag and show me what is there inside it. Or they put your bags aside. So that is possible through computer vision. So your checked in bags are also verified what kind of material is being put. Okay. So computer vision is helping us do that. Recommender system. So I am sure everybody would be using this. As I said, recommender system for Facebook is what kind of videos you want to watch, or whether you would like to add a particular friend, right? Then Amazon gives us product recommendations. Your Netflix give us video recommendation. Google gives us specific links, or the when you try to search, it gives us suggestions. All that is nothing but the recommender system. So it's a club of everything put together, and that's how data science gets completed. Okay. Time series analysis is one of the most frequently used softwares in the sectors of finance and share market. So what will be the price of a particular share in next 2 hours can be predicted with the help of time series analysis. So, or if suppose I'm looking at the sales of a particular product and I want to know if date wise sales is at such X and YZ point, then what would be the sales in the next month, or probably 3 months down the line. So those kind of time based predictions are done with the help of time series analysis. Last but not the least, when all these points that we have seen are put together, then we get artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence have superb examples. Okay, again, these are all combinations of what we have seen. Okay, it is not alone artificial intelligence, it is club of all. So Amazon Go is one of the best technologies that have been launched way back in 2017. Okay, they have 17 stores of Amazon, which is called as just walkout technology. Okay, now what is the feature? You have your QR code scanner. Okay, the way in metros, how do we scan the tickets, or through your Paytm, you scan the QR and you just walk inside the station, correct? Similarly, you have to scan your QR code on the Amazon app and you can just walk inside the store. Now, what is there? There is no cash counter inside the store. This is what just walk out technology means. So what basically they do is They detect your face. They detect what product you have picked up. The minute you pick up the product, it is going to be added to your cart on Amazon. Okay. And when you walk out of the store, your credit card would automatically debited, or your debit card will automatically be debited with the amount that is based on the products that you have picked up. Now, what all is being used? Okay. Computer vision to detect your face, and it is using the a combination of artificial intelligence, deep learning. Okay, all this put together has allowed us to develop this particular product, Amazon Go. We have 17 stores in US. Okay, Netflix, very commonly used by everybody today. So which movie should you watch? You get the recommendations, right? So that is again possible because of data science. Let's talk about India. Okay, so we have a robot teacher. This was very much in news. Okay, so we have a robot teacher in Bangalore who teaches in a medical school. Okay, so the robot teacher teaches in the medical school. Okay, in Thane we have robots serving food inside the hotel. So this is like artificial intelligence doing great job in and around the world. Okay, we have already discussed this, the tools that are used in data science and artificial intelligence. I have taken you through when, where, and how these tools are. How is something that we can learn, but when and where are the tools used, that is something that I have explained you. Okay, now the very important question: what will I be if I learn all of this? Okay, what will I be if I learn all of this? So you can be a data scientist, a data analyst, data engineer, data architect, business analyst, ML engineer, if you acquire knowledge of all the concepts that have been told to you. Okay, now, let me take you through a life cycle. I mean, in data science, there is a life cycle. So, which kind of profile you can be at what level? Okay, so it starts with data collection. Okay, so when we talk about data collection, we are basically talking about a data engineer or a data architect. He is the person who is responsible to actually deal with the data collection. Now, after the data collection happens, we basically perform the task of exploratory data analysis. So this is the step where we are talking about, cleaning the data, working on the data in detail, rectifying the data, and again, if there is a problem, going back to the data collection task, wherein you inform your colleague to get you more information or more data. So that's what we do in exploratory data analysis. And we do model training. That is where you train your model, okay, to actually learn how to predict information or what to predict. So that is something that you are teaching your model. Then you evaluate the model, whether the model is actually predicting the correct thing or no, and then you do the deployment. So these are the different phases. Now, every phase, see this data collection, as I said, a data engineer does. When it comes to exploratory data analyst, that's where your data analyst comes into the picture. When it comes to exploratory data analysis, model training, and model evaluation, all these three things can be done by a data scientist. Okay. Then deployment is done by a machine learning engineer. So this is a complete structure or the major roles that are part of the data science life cycle. Okay, now what is the scope of data science? It is a prediction by 2021 we will have most of the jobs on data science, because that is the need of the hour. Every business needs data scientists and data analysts and machine learning engineers to work for them. So this is a phase that is completely moving into the life of data science. Let me talk about domain wise jobs. Okay, so if we talk about Python only, look at the numbers. So if you have only knowledge of Python, you have 25,000 plus jobs. As a statistician, if you know statistics, as a statistician, you have 4,900 plus jobs. Machine learning, we have 5,000 plus jobs. TensorFlow, 500 plus jobs. Okay, computer vision, 20,000 plus jobs. Time series, 500 plus. NLP, 1,000 plus. Artificial intelligence, 2,000 plus. Overall, if we have the knowledge, we have 60,000 plus jobs available in market, which are due to increase. Okay, they are going to increase in the upcoming years because the field of data science is expanding to a great extent. So, any questions? Excited about data science, guys? Would you like to learn data science? Okay, so Roshan has a question. Which kind of statistics or mathematics is required for fresher? Okay, so with regards to data science, we need knowledge of descriptive and inferential statistics. Okay, that is a must when we deal with your data, machine learning algorithms. So if I have to explain you the phases where you will need them, okay. So when we talk about dealing with model training and model evaluation, okay, so specifically at the stage of model training, we will need descriptive statistics. And at the stage of model evaluation, we'll need inferential statistics, because at these two phases, you use inferential statistics to evaluate things and do the remodeling. So these are the two phases where majorly you will need descriptive and inferential statistics. Okay, at certain areas of exploratory data analysis, you may need the central tendency knowledge of with regards to mathematics. So what I mean by central tendency is the normal distribution, the z-score, mean, to exploratory data analysis. Okay, Jayesh has a question. He says, to become a data scientist, we need programming, mathematics, and statistics, but the knowledge will be sufficient in all kinds of domain. Well, Jayesh, yes, knowledge of programming, the machine learning algorithms, your maths and statistics is sufficient to every domain, but you will have to explore the domain more in detail. Why? Let me explain you. Because when you're performing this exploratory data analysis, you're basically identifying what kind of data should I consider for my data modeling. This is majorly where your domain knowledge plays an important role. Apart from that, you will need domain knowledge at this level where you need to evaluate whether the model is giving the right output. Now, suppose my model is detecting a fracture, but if I do not have a domain knowledge, how can I say whether it is a hairline fracture or a proper fracture, or the bone is non-repairable, right? So that kind of thing can be possibly known only if I do have the domain knowledge. So as I said, domain knowledge comes based on experience and time. It needs time to acquire complete domain knowledge. So that's the reason domain is where you will have to stick to one domain to learn and deep dive into. But as a start, to begin with, you can start off with anything. Any more questions, guys? Okay, which programming language an IT student should focus the most? Okay, so if you plan to get into data science, in such a scenario, the suggestion is focus on Python programming language, because that's the baseline to everything, right? And if you are planning to get into any other IT domains like the web development, then it is dependent on you what programming language you would like to go for. But specifically from data science, it is Python that you should focus on. Okay. Roshan asks, in domain, we can take help from the expertise. Yes, we can take help from the expert. So as a fresher, when you want to get into data science field, you will have guys. Yeah, so expertise person would be helping you with the information. Okay, so domain, you will get guidance. We have another question. Which technology should we learn for ethical hacker? Okay, if you want to become an ethical hacker in such a scenario, you can learn networking. You need to learn networking, right? And networking could be done through Cisco or Microsoft. Okay, so you can be a CCNA, CCNP. That is the baseline to start off with ethical hacking. And the programming language, again, Python can be used. And based on, there are certain softwares too, which comes with the network. So based on that, you'll have to work on. But network programming is very important. When knowledge of network is very important to work with ethical hackers. Okay, so you will have to do MCSA, that is the Microsoft certification, or you can go for a Cisco certification, that is a CCNA, CCNP. Okay, we have next question, that is, if we want to be a software developer, then which programming language is needed? Okay, now I'll answer this question in a different way. Okay, I'm going to ask you this question that, if you want to, you don't like programming, you don't like to write business logic. Okay, if you really don't like to write business logic, but you are interested into software development, then you can go for PHP, Laravel, YouTube frameworks. These are like not lot of deep diving into business logics. Okay, it is like easy to use web development that you can do, that is through PHP. Okay, now suppose you love to write hardcore business logics, and you are you want to get into web development, and you want to focus on developing portals. When I say a portal, it is basically you know a website like Triple I, Insurance Institute of India, or probably a website like the visa approvals mechanism, right? So in such a scenario, you can go for a Java knowledge or a .NET knowledge. Okay, so it depends on that. Now, if you want to get into basic e-commerce website development or the general web developments, and not much of effort to be put into, in such a scenario, as I said, PHP helps. Python helps. With regards to Python, you can learn Django development. So these are all the latest frameworks that are being utilized for software developer. Now, software developer has more domains too. Now, when it comes to working with software development, you may need some add-ons too, like tools, or like database would be required when it comes to software development, very important. Without that, it's not possible, right? And when you're working with certain servers, then knowledge of Linux, Unix is important. So that's how the complete role of software developer in the industry works. Okay, we have another question. Is there only Python language best for data science? No, apart from Python, R programming is also a very good programming language that can be learned for data science. But in the market, major requirement or job opportunities are based on Python or R programming. Other programming languages are being explored in the field of data science, so that much demand is not there in the market. But yes, we can do data science programming with C# as well as Java, but you won't find many openings in regards to these two programming languages. Okay, now we have one more question which says, want to develop an app. Okay, now I assume app is something with regards to mobile. Akshay, that's right. Are we talking about a mobile app? In that case, the languages that you can learn are, if you want to become an Android developer, then you will have to learn Android. So you need Java and Android. Both you will require to work on Android. And when it comes to dealing with your iOS, then you need to learn Ionic. So of lately, Ionic is a framework that is used in common for almost all the kinds of app development, because you can convert the application accordingly and utilize it on any operating system that is a mobile application. So Ionic is something which is famous of lately. Apart from this, I would like to add, suppose you love to work with uh, colors. Okay, you are a person who loves painting and who loves to draw. In such a scenario, you can get into web designing. Okay, and you can design different websites using HTML, CSS, JavaScript, jQuery, Bootstrap, Angular 10. So these are the languages that can be utilized specifically for designing, web designing. Okay, Python, we have another question. Python can use for becoming software developer. Yes, Python can be used to become a software developer, but Python has some points that we need to look into. When we want to become a Python developer, then of lately the major requirement of Python is into Python web scraping. So you need to have the knowledge of web scraping using Beautiful Soup. That is one thing. And if you want to become a web developer into Python, so in that case you will need to have knowledge of knowledge of Django or Flask. That is something important. And if you want to get into Python from the perspective of getting into data science, then you will need the knowledge of ML and deep learning. So these are what is required. Okay, I have missed one question. What would be the duration of this course? Okay, so the duration of this course is 6 to 8 months. If you want to, if you want to study something in terms to data science, it takes minimum 6 to 8 months to cover up. So again, depends on all the modules and how we go about it. So 6 to 8 months. Okay. The next question is, there's no name, there's a roll number. So I'll just read out the question. How much can we earn after becoming a data scientist? Okay, so as a fresher, yes, it starts with 3 lakhs, but over the period of time, you can have a salary package of 3 lakhs per month. Okay, so that's how you can earn as a data scientist. So initially, yes, you will have to start on a lower package, but you can get a higher package very soon if you have good knowledge and you are able to handle business problems. So that is how a data scientist earns in the industry. Okay, so Jayesh has a question. So becoming a data engineer, analyst, scientist, and machine learning engineer, each job is based on the programming, maths, and statistics. But if we want to work with AI, okay, so Jayesh, if you want to work with AI, you need to have knowledge of deep learning, NLP, recommender system. It's a combination of all. Okay, it is not expertise in one particular thing, but the baseline is programming, maths, and statistics. So the basic remains the same. Over and above this, it is towards artificial intelligence. Nilesh, I haven't understood your question. Placement company for programming and DBMS and Java. I didn't get that. No, Python programming, Gaurav, Python programming and Python Django are not different to study. Okay, the basics is Python. You have more libraries, add-on libraries in Django that can be utilized while working with Django web development. Okay, so Roshan is data science takes the current market towards robotic process automation. Yes, artificial intelligence is towards robotics process automation. Okay, Nasreen, we will ask one of our person to connect with you. You can get in touch with our career guides. They can guide you through how we can start this course. Okay, so that is something that we can take care of. Okay, Tej, this is quite a funny question that you have asked. What is the difference between IBM and Python? Okay, Python is a programming language and IBM is a company. So I believe you would like to ask a different question, or okay. Kamal has a question: which programming language I have mastered? Okay, so I have mastered Python. I have also mastered C Sharp. programming language. So I can handle both the technologies, that is towards data science as well as web development in .NET. So that is my specialization. IBM is not a software beta. IBM has products towards software. So you have a specific requirement, I can tell you about that software. Okay, we have another question. Maths is mandatory for data science. Then can a person weak in maths become a data scientist? Yes, a person weak in maths can become a data scientist, but you will have to acquire certain specific, you know, knowledge, specific domain knowledge in mathematics to get into data science. Certain information is mandatory. So if you are weak, is not a problem. You can learn, or you can always learn. There's no stoppage to learning. You can learn at any age. So that's something that you can work on. Which programming language? Okay. The question is, what package do you get for which programming language? Okay, this is dependent on companies you are applying for. Okay, so this is purely dependent on company to company. So yes, the general package for a 3-tier company begins with 3 lakhs. If you're going for a smaller firm or a startup, then the pay package may differ. So that is dependent on the company. Okay, we have few more questions. How much importance of Excel knowledge is required in data science? Okay, so data science, if you are getting into the programming field of data science, then Excel knowledge is not required. Okay, but if you get into manual analysis, then yes, knowledge of Excel and advanced Excel is required. You will have to be proficient with pivots and macros. These are 2 important things that are necessary if you get into analysis, data analysis or business analysis through a non IT domain. So in that case, Excel knowledge would be required. Okay, Nasreen, can you share your contact number? I would ask a concerned person to connect to you and they'll guide you through how to start the course. All right, I would take one last question because it's almost time. So I'll take one last question. Okay, one very good question has been asked. That's something that I would take. How people are getting higher package from Google, Amazon, and etc. companies. Can we also be able to get that? Okay, first of all, let me tell you this. Google, Amazon have certain prerequisite criteria that you need to have. That is minimum 65% in throughout your career. So that means during your 10th, 12th degree, post-graduation, you should have minimum 65% score. And there are 9 rounds of interview that you need to clear to get into such companies. Okay, so if we have that much knowledge, we are proficient with English, then yes, you can get a higher package. And please understand, the companies are 3-tier plus companies, so their profit incomes is equivalent to the salaries of the employee. All right, and one last question that has been asked, that which is my favorite programming language and which language I learned the first. Okay, so my favorite programming language of lately is Python because it's super simple and easy to pick up. Okay, and which programming I learned, my college time, I had Pascal that I have learned first. So that's no more in the industry. So yes, that differs. All right, guys. So
Hello.
that's it from my end.
Hello.
Yes, Amit
Hello.
sir, you're audible.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you everyone for a kind patience and your, such a big interest in this career programs and all. I request to everyone. I hope everyone has saved this number, career helpline, which I posted in a chat box. Everyone are requested to save this number. And the most important information is today, end of the day, you will receive a one career counseling and demo by expert in data science, the link and the slots on your mail. You can book your free slots for the and our career counseling demo where you can see the career graph, job opportunities and the data science career, all other options and all. So I would request everyone, this is the such a good opportunity in lockdown where you can utilize your talent to into brightening your career. All are requested to check your mail without fail in all the folders, might be in a spam or something, but it should not be skipped at any cost. All are need to book your slots to attend the counseling and the demo to understand and take opportunity more into this field towards your career. Also about the courses and all the brief you can see in a career counseling, so your all doubts will be clear by the experts in a session, and the session would be on one-on-one, so you can have your complete your time only with the interactions with the experts. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, student, please note that I have shared feedback link in the chat box. So please fill the feedback form and then only you will get the e-certificate for this webinar. Okay. So thank you, madam, for your valuable guidance. Now I request Assistant Professor Kishore Chauhan, in charge of placement cell, to propose a vote of thanks. Kishore sir, are
Yeah,
you
thank you,
there?
Sanjeev. Yeah. Thank you, Sanjeevani, madam. Good afternoon to one and all. I, Kishore Chauhan, placement coordinator of the college, would like to propose vote of thanks for today's webinar. I would first like to thank to today's speaker, Neha Lohana, for guiding the student about the data science and career prospects which they will be able to get from the particular, I can say, courses. It was a wonderful session and students have been benefited a lot from the information shared and guidance given. I would also thank our respected management members and principal madam for giving us an opportunity for organizing such an effective session for the benefit of the student. I would like to thank our organizing team and last but not least to our students who have enthusiastically participated in today's webinar. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
I would like to also express my special thank note to Dr. Sanjeevani ma'am, because since the last 1 week we are in a coordination to make this possible, and today we can see the reality. All our students here on, now they, you can say now they on their career path, now they started, moving towards their goal. So thank you, JBM entire team, Lina ma'am, uh, and all other the respected concerned authorities for to make this happen. So all are requested again to please have a look on your mail and take opportunity free career counseling and a demo to see what's more store for you in future. Thank you everyone, and thank you ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thanks a
Thank
lot.
you, sir.
Thank you, everyone. You all were a wonderful audience.
Thank you, Sneha ma'am.